Good evening, Big Ring viewers and riders alike. Tonight brings us the mouth-watering prospect of the TBR Supercrit. That is the Richmond track, flat track, with a very slight incline. The course of the race will be 4 laps of the Richmond flat track, and this is a weighted handicap, as you would be well familiar as we watch the rollout of the TBR group. A couple of clear weight dopers, as are always the case, just go off the front there. More on them later. It can be controversial. They can be used to your advantage, the weight dopers, I'm sure, inadvertently. Nevertheless, we'll see what unfolds here as James New gives the go, go, go. And we see Matt Smith and Simon Whitford initially pressing on the Tron bikes. Any orange watt per kilo numbers you see in TBR can be disregarded. If you're riding the event as well, that's how you know something's up. But all legitimate riders together now, and hold on a minute. I think there's been a bit of controversy. One of the riders has been called out as a doper, and James New effectively puts the handicap race under neutralised conditions. So the pace just coming off a little bit, just to let some of the dopers get ahead up the road. This is the fantastic spirit we've come to expect in the TBR group. All riders obeying that from James New there, seemingly, as he calls racing live on again. And immediately New himself goes to the front as if to signify that racing is live again. The group coming together though, still with some, let's say, suspect weights in there, but that's just going to have to be what this group has to contend with at the moment, as we're nearing the halfway point. 10.8 kilometres left to go. Whitford here claiming, after multiple attacks, that he's run out of matches. A bit of banter there. If you've got time to type, then you're not right on the rivet, I would say. And Matt Smith says, you can have one of my matches, and here he goes. Matt Smith lighting a match right now. Off the front, the Golden Shaft responds, seemingly New 3 metres back. Then it is Whitford, who's looked strong all day. McBrien, Bailey, Clayton, Delanty coming back together with Smith. As it looks like Whitford again looks to take up the running. He's certainly been the aggressor so far in the ride, and he continues to do that at 2.3 watts per kilo, and has opened a 13-second gap now to Clayton, New and others. He's finally got his wish here, Whitford, and he's opened up and he's in a break. Unfortunately, he's in a break by himself, so you'd be surprised if this would stick, as it looks to be McBrien taking responsibility and bringing this group back to Whitford, not overstating it at all to call this a Herculean effort to get back onto the wheel of Whitford. So all together again as we draw breath after a flurry of attacks and action there. It's Clayton on the front at the moment with the ever-energetic Whitford, Smith, New all together. Bailey and Delanty still in it. And group back together and working well. As you might imagine, the pace might come off now, but we move forward to 2 kilometres to go. So the final run in, it looks like it's going to be a big bunch sprint for the TBR Supercrit this week. So hearts are racing in the commentary box, as they are for Matt Smith at 182 beats currently with, this is McBrien and Smith. Oh, great camera angle here, TBR green. I'd encourage everyone to get their bikes green for TBR Mondays. There's a lot going on Zwift lately, but here we go. A kilometre or so to go, maybe 1.8 that says, I think. Matt Smith still working hard, Whitford, New, Delanty, the usual suspects. The white-haired gentleman on the front not eligible for the win. So just a bit of cat and mouse now as perhaps the riders start to look at each other with 1.3 kilometres to go. Riders of Richmond to be familiar with this run-in. It's a U-turn, so out at 180 degree turn and a short finish to the sprint banner. And pace has just come off momentarily as riders wonder who it is going to be to take the next step, and it is Whitford yet again. Chapeau Whitford, definitely the most combative of the stage as he tries to go away early with 1100 to race. The group chasing behind, not really responding out of the saddle, just perhaps working as a group, raising the work rate. They've got 900 to go now and just hoping that they'll catch him. It's New taking on the baton with Smith and McBrien. I think that'll be your final four. What order is yet to be determined as New and McBrien Smith continue to try and pull back Whitford. He can't have much left in the tank after the ride he's put in today. And it looks like that gap is slowly coming down, although he's just holding them out there now. Critics may say some of the dopers are playing a part here, but nevertheless we can only ride the race that we're presented with. As Whitford's numbers just look to go through the floor there, and I think he's done. He may hold them for a second or two more, but New now on the front of the chasing group to McBrien and Smith, and I think that group will come with momentum right at the U-turn. Here it is as they go through, and McBrien now on the front. I'd say he's there too early with 500 to go probably. Don't worry about that rider. McBrien getting a ride on, and it's New now, the golden shaft. He accelerates with perhaps 300 metres to go. McBrien drops into the wheel. It's Matt Smith after that. Lights out for Whitford. He's done. Oh, McBrien entering the golden shaft there. And now New out of the saddle and McBrien going with him. He's holding his wheel, but I think that's all he's going to be able to do as James New takes out the Supercrit, his own event. Make of that what you will. It's McBrien second with Matt Smith in third for the day. Delante and Clayton after that. We hope to see you guys back. Stick a fork in Simon Whitford. He is done. And Bailey rounding out the field after that. Hope you've enjoyed the videos. Come and have a ride with us sometime at the TBR Handicap. Until then, it's bye now.